Hello, hello, people of the internet. Happy Friday. It's November 14th, and I think it's about quarter to 12, almost noon. This is my post gym check in. Um, yeah, I just had my lunch. Just kind of pondering a bunch of things right now. I don't know how I feel emotionally. Physically, I'm tired. I didn't sleep that great last night. And I made it to the gym. I did my cold shower, my coffee. I didn't eat until about 10. So, my caloric intake is under wraps. It's in control. But yeah, I feel good that way. There's a lot going through my head right now. I'm trying to process, I guess. So, like I said, it's my 75-day sobriety day today. Not just sober, because people say sober, and I don't. For me, it wasn't just alcohol, man. It was drugs, cocaine, cigarettes, social media, porn, fucking anything that had kind of an addictive clip on me. I tried to reduce it all and remove it completely. And I've succeeded 99.999% of the time. I've slipped once or twice, but in that respect, I feel good today, man. It was a milestone, like ding, 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 right? I'm fucking happy with that, but there's no feelings of anxiety or wanting to go back or anything. I'm really kind of hit the point where I've let that life slip. It's behind me, and it is what it is. I don't want it back. I got a lot of things on my plate right now that require forward momentum, and that's where my focus is going. So, yeah, I guess part of the thing that's bugging me is, I was thinking on the 75th, I'd have all this knowledge and wisdom to share with other people that were struggling, and that's sort of where I want to pivot the channel to. Not necessarily helping other people, but just having dialogue with people that struggle, and maybe through conversation I can, I don't know, man, give them a word of advice of wisdom and age. It's anyway, that was kind of the hope. But what I realized was reading Reddit and other forums and threads and stuff, like, man, the way people process and deal with addictions is very different from everybody else. It's a very individualistic journey. Some people struggle with like the craving, and I see that all the time on Reddit. People, even just quitting smoking, like, I'm losing my mind, I need a cigarette. And I'm like, man, for me, my temperament is all or nothing, first of all, right? Like, I understood if I quit one, I have to quit them all, or it's not going to work. So I made a list of, these are the things that I don't want having any kind of element of control over my life from this point moving forward. And I held myself accountable to that list, slipping once or twice in 75 days, and I'm not going to beat myself up over that. I recalibrated pretty quick and refocused and continued moving forward. And that worked for me, but it's not going to work for everybody, and I didn't just quit. I didn't just go raw dogging, meaning that spectrum across the board, like no internet, no social media, no news, no checking emails, sitting in solitude for the last 75 days, man. I have not talked to I've talked to my parents, my sister, and one or two people kind of on occasion. But otherwise, it's just me, myself, and I, and the cat. The solitude was a necessary part of my healing, and a blessing in disguise. I was canned in June, so I've been unemployed since. And unemployment gives you a lot of time to kind of self-reflect and introspect, and analyze where I stand in the world and what I was thinking and what I want to change, and all those things matter, and there was other things that were distracting me during my addictions recovery process that made me not want to go anywhere. I wanted to just wallow in my own sadness, and didn't want to talk to anybody. And that made it easier to quit addictions, because there was no one fucking like passing me cigarettes or, and I don't know, can everybody do that? I don't know. I took a very hard, straightforward approach to solving this, that it was strict enough, or not strict, but intense. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it was enough that my therapist and my doctor and everybody else was kind of like, you should probably tackle one at a time. And I just said no. I'm like, that's not the way my temperament works, man. I commit, and I'm in it to win it, or I'm not, right? Like, there is no do or do not. There is no try, right? So yeah, all this being said, man, it took the wind out of my sails today when I realized the dates and how I wanted to have a video on my YouTube channel that kind of commemorated that milestone, and hoping that I could give people advice. And I don't know if I can, man. I mean, but my advice, if I could package it up quickly and simply, it would be quit all of your vices at once. Again, raw dog, man. It's not just booze. It's alcohol, cigarettes, social media, other habits, and chewing your nails or whatever it might be. And I had a lot. I had stimming practices that I adopted over the years that I just canned. I stopped doing them. I used to bite my cheek a lot when I was anxious, and I made a conscious, concerted effort to stop doing that because it wasn't harmful. I didn't do it, to the point that it bled. But why was I doing it, right? Like it was an indicator of my dysfunctioned nervous system and lack of self-control. So I quit all that shit overnight. And I struggled, man, very quickly. My body physiologically was responding to the lack of, cocaine and cigarettes for sure. Booze, not so much. But, and I stymied that by daily rituals, man. I did daily cold showers or plunges in the tub. Every day without fail. Like if I was sick or tired or not, it did not matter. I understood that submerging myself in that cold water for 2 to 3 minutes. I didn't start at 2 or 3 minutes. I started at about 10 seconds and worked my way up over a couple of weeks. But, now, I can stand in the water and it's not a big deal. I can sit there for 10 minutes. It's cold, but I'm used to it. And it's what I use to regulate my nervous system. And it was probably the most imperative thing in regulating. Beyond mindfulness and meditation and breath work are important too. But, everything, man, from little stimming tools. I wear one of those bands around my wrist. So when I'm feeling anxious, I kind of snap it and it brings me back to reality. And so the clean diet and daily exercise, man. I've gone to the gym every single fucking day without fail. 2 days that I was sick. I think I had bronchitis, so I was struggling breathing. Give me a break. I missed 2 days in the last 75 days of going to the gym every single day, with the exception of Remembrance Day, I think. Maybe Thanksgiving it was open in the morning or in the evening. But that was another ritual, every goddamn day, man, I make it to that gym and I make sure I work out. And not everybody's going to do that or can do that. And I had to. If I don't have rituals, I had addictions, right? Plain and simple. If I wasn't going to the gym, I was that much more tempted to kind of go, well, fucking one more pack of cigarettes, not a big deal. And that doesn't work for me, so I didn't do it. And, I also embraced self-development and self-discovery, man. I started the podcast. I started learning about fucking YouTube and shooting videos and putting myself out there in a very awkward, uncomfortable way. I do not like pictures and cameras, man. And I made it a point to record myself twice a day at an absolute minimum, a daily check-in of pre and post gym. And, I still don't like myself on camera, but I don't care either, right? I've got over that concern. And each of these tiny little wins stacked up and made that acknowledgement of the things that had an addictive control over me are gone. I'm in control, man. That is what I constantly remind myself every fucking day. I do affirmations and power stances in the cold shower. It's a good time to do it because it's pretty hard to think of anything else when you're freezing. So I stacked my plate full of so many things that I couldn't think about anything else. And like I said, I was dealing with pain and hurt, and that made it easier too. I don't know what to tell you, man. If you're trying to kick drugs, I don't know, go lose your job and do something that makes you really vulnerable and have that collapse. And then maybe that'll be your wake-up call. And this is a common theme that I'm hearing from a lot of people that go through midlife crisis or spiritual awakenings, however you want to define it. It occurs when how does it go? When the pain of change is greater than the fear of staying the same, or something to that effect, that you have to want something different in your life catastrophically, transformatively. Not just minor changes, man, not transformation. There's a big difference. Transition is like going from 10 pounds or 150 pounds to 149 pounds. Transformation would be like you went to 150 to 105. That's a big fucking change, man. Everything changes about you at that point, and that's life transformation, right? So for me, I had to do the transformation. There was no middle ground. There was no I'm going to quit cocaine for 3 months and maybe I'll quit alcohol after that. It was all or nothing. So I don't know if what I've learned is applicable to everybody or anybody. I don't know. It's a very individualistic experience, and, I want to help people, but I don't know. I don't know how to convey it, and that's part of what's bugging me, I guess. I was really hoping to have something, more landable with people, and you can sense by the excitement in my voice that I'm struggling with how to communicate that. Addictions are not easy, man, and I want to connect with people that are going through hell. You know, whether it's addictions or job loss or fucking, you know, heartbreak or marriage or whatever, man. I mean, I just want to talk to people and, you know, not share in their pain, but not absorb their pain either. I'm not a healer, right? I don't care about healing people. I just want to help. And for me, the difference is that someone that would help is someone that recognizes you're able to kind of lift yourself up, whereas a healer is someone that would like try and save you from near death. And I'll be honest, if you were a dog on the side of the road, I'd shoot you if I didn't think you'd make it. I wouldn't put effort into saving you. So in that respect, I'm not a healer. I'm a bad empath, bad boy. Anyways, guys, that's sort of my pre-gym check-in. I wanna rethink this and maybe do something a little more fluent for 75 days, but I'm gonna use this sort of a template. So if you see two kind of identical videos, you know why. But anyway, it's almost 12 minutes. So as always, if you're watching, I see you. I appreciate you. Thanks for checking in, man. And I hope you have a great weekend. And hopefully we chat soon. All right. Peace. Bye.